But today I know the weather. That's annoying. Sorry about that, you guys. But did think that I am a big believer in film watching and film sessions, especially watching it with a coach and someone who understands what it is that you're watching. The film that we're going to watch is actually our teal team from a season or two ago. So you might see some familiar faces out there. Film is really great to improve your lax IQ. So at practice, we're definitely going to work on, your skills. We're going to work on a lot of, mechanics and technique. But with film, you can actually see the game and understand the strategy and the patterns and the movements that you're gonna come into contact with when you actually start playing in games. So I highly encourage if you don't have paper, like get some and take some notes. The film that I'm going to use, you guys can actually go back through and watch on my YouTube channel. I will send this recording out, but I'll also send a link out to my YouTube channel so you guys can go online and look. We do have a couple of games from past teams on there that, again, it's just really beneficial for you guys to go and watch. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so here we have one of our teams. We're gonna watch it without sound, so hopefully you guys that's good. If there are any issues, just message me in the chat. So here off this opening draw, this happens kind of quickly, but I want you guys to see this. Our midfielder here, who's coming off that backside, the reason why she is able to win this is because of her body positioning. So we talk about this a lot in working on high grabs and 1v1 ground balls, is taking that lateral step in front of your opponent in order to gain better body positioning, which is super helpful. So this player, great box out, and she just is up and out through that potential double team, which is really great. We have kind of a bad pass, errant pass here, and just tough ground balls. They're just sloppy right there. So that sloppy ground ball kind of initiated a fast break situation for the other team. But here we have Sydney Shaw, who steps up and slows down ball and gives the midfielders and the other defenders a chance to really set up a defensive unit to not only slow down that fast break situation, but to essentially eliminate the fast break opportunity. So if you watch Sydney Shaw, who steps up to ball, we'll back this up a little bit. So fast break situation here, which is unfortunate. Our midfielders are all behind the ball, which is not ideal. Sydney Shaw recognizes that, makes great contact. That attacker kind of fumbles, which gives our other midfielders a chance to really drop into the unit here. And do their thing. So on this defensive set, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. You can see that all of the defenders are constantly checking to make sure that they can see both ball and girl. We'll back this up. To see both ball and girl, they're calling out who they have. They're making sure that they're on those, they have that good body positioning and they're in those triangles. Once this girl drives, we have a great 1v1 defender here. And our adjacent slides were ready and deterred her from driving any further. So we're going to watch this whole sequence again. So initial drive, she slows it down, Fumbles, the rest of the defenders are able to drop in. All of the other defenders are talking, we're calling out. There's lots of communication here. Raise sticks in the passing lane, which is what we want. Then we have an attempt to drive, but our adjacent girls are right there and ready to close down those lanes. And they have to pull out and I mean, they are able to get off a pass, which stinks, but overall, this is a great offensive set or a great defensive set. Here we had a great draw. Good inside pass. It's not there. We release and we move the ball, which is good. That's what we want. Ideally, move it twice, but this is okay in this particular situation. So this is what a pass off the back foot looks like, and this is why we always want to go forward. So we want to release, go forward through our passes. So we'll just watch this sequence again. So this is a great draw here. Great reach. And then we're up and out of that midfield. We're a threat, which forces the defense to potentially slide off their girl. We're a threat, which is awesome. We have a lot of off-ball movement up top here. It's just an unfortunate pass. It's off of our back foot. We always want to go forward, and that's exactly why. Great midfield ride, redefend, which prevents a fast break situation. Gives our defenders and the rest of our midfielders the opportunity to slide in and create that that defensive shell that we want around the 8. So now we're in a settled situation, which is as a defensive unit here, that's what we want. Offensively, this team is doing a good job of recognizing that fast break situation was no longer there, pulling it out, working it around, and keeping a lot of space. They're playing out really far, just about around the 15, which forces the defense out. It really spreads them, so you can really see the lanes and the holes in there. What they don't do a good job of here is drives. The girl with the ball isn't always as big of a threat as she probably should be. And that's just great 1v1 defense there. And she's up and out. On this, we need attackers to be an option through transition, especially when midfield comes up with a big play like that. In this particular situation, none of our attackers were cutting back to ball. So that other team was able to collapse on our midfield pretty quickly and force the turnover again. And here. So at this point in a game, you see people starting to breathe heavy. This has been a little bit of a track meet back and forth. This is when those fundamentals really come into play. So when we can't do the little things like pass or cut back to ball or transition, it really wears out our midfielders. And when they start to get tired, that really affects both our defense and our offense, and things kind of just crumble. So that's why we harp on the basics. So stick skills, ground balls, and understanding when to cut and help through transition. Even though you're just an attacker or you're just a defender, you should be helping out through transition. So we have an 8-meter situation here. Again, a great reach, great box out, good body positioning. We're up and out. So this again, attackers, we need to cut back to our midfielders when we're in transition so that they have options. And we capitalize on a great draw. So you guys will see that CC is actually doing a push draw, which is usually used as a self draw. She's able, or she wants to push the ball straight up, or just a little bit off, because we have recognized in this particular game that we have a faster midfield unit off of our draw control unit. So she's either wants to place it to herself and utilize her height here, or she's going to put it off to a little bit of an angle, off either her back shoulder, off her front shoulder, because our midfielders were getting there faster. So that's just a little bit of strategy behind the draw. It really depends on what your draw control specialist is wanting to do or able to do, and you want to play to your team's advantages. This particular team was very fast. So between CC's height and our very, very fast midfielders, we wanted to self draw and keep the ball in close here, because we knew that we were either going to have have the good body positioning to snag it out of the air, or the good body positioning to get it up off the ground. And again, we get it all good body positioning, get it up off the ground, and we're up and out, and we're a threat. We're charging right away, which really pokes a hole in a defensive unit that's not set and ready and doesn't know how to take a 1v1. Now, in this particular set, our attackers and our midfielders do drop into position. So we do have a great ride, and we are able to force a little bit of fumble. So here, even though we don't get the ball, we're eliminating their opportunity for a real fast break, which does end up with us getting possession. Forces that other team to be frantic, which really is an advantage. So good clear, we're pushing. We have an option in the midfield. It's all right. We fumble, but she's still there, and we attack. And by attacking right off the get-go, it forces these defenders to slide low to high. So you're gonna see here as our girl here is driving. She pulled that defender off of the girl on our team to the right here, which opens her up for a little draw and dump pass. Just boop right there. We fumble it, but that's okay. And now we attacked, we pulled it out. Now we're gonna spread out and we're gonna work the ball around a little bit. Still wanna be a threat during that time though. We attack Aline. Not ideal. We just kind of attacked in that corner. So the defense was kind of set and ready for that, but it was a good take. Good body positioning, great ground ball. Recognize that the opportunity is not there. Looking for open cutters. And again, we kind of already attacked that corner, so she's there and ready. Not the most ideal opportunities off that. The past 3 shots that we just took in this sequence were all stick side high, which when you shoot in the same spot repeatedly, the goalie's kind of ready for that. So on that, I would recommend better shot selection. We need to fake high, put it low, be more dynamic with our shot selection. Here again, we've got good defensive communication, but just don't pick up every girl and we leave that middle exposed. All right, I'm gonna pause this. So just wanted to come back. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we just went over? Okay, cool. We'll go back to the film here. Sorry, technical difficulties. So something with this film too that you guys will see as both teams get tired, we get a little sloppy, which is not ideal. As you get tired, that's when you really want to stay disciplined. You really want to stay focused, and your training and your understanding of the fundamentals really come into play. Because you're tired, you're thinking about other things, you're thinking about how tired you are. So your muscle memory really does take over in skills like passing, catching, ground balls, your fakes, your shot placement, things like that. So it is really important that you have a good handle on your fundamentals, and that is why we drill them and practice them so frequently, so that when you do get into a game and you are tired, you can still execute and do things the appropriate way. So tough camera angle here, but that's okay. So we attack. We want to be a threat constantly coming in. It forces the defense. They're either going to slide or we're going to catch someone on the backside of ball who's ball watching. Just always want to be a threat as an attacker when you have the ball. So we want to catch and drive, catch and drive. And your drive doesn't have to be 10 steps. It can be just a little stutter step. It forces that defender to commit to you, which is what we want. So we're driving and we're passing. So and that's how we find those holes in the middle. And that's a great look. We just didn't convert. So we really need middies to drop in here and slow that ball down so this isn't such a fast break situation. But that is a good collapse. We forced a bad shot. This gives our defense a chance to really drop in, including our midfielders. So great defensive position and double slide. So I don't know if you guys saw that. I'll back that up and show that again. So we're about to have this initial girl drive. So she drives, we send the slide, and then we have the second slide over covering those two girls, which is exactly what we want. Get those sticks up in the passing lane, fumble the ball, and now that's a turnover, and we're headed back the other way. That's a great defensive set. And then I want you guys to see how we've had layers throughout transition. So we're cutting back to ball, but we still are gaining ground. Just a little sloppy here, but that's okay. And that's a good decision to pull up and not take that shot. Work it around, find another hole, and boom. So that one got a little wild, but I believe that we actually gained possession of it, which is good. Yeah, so we're coming down, we're a threat. Force the defense to make some decisions. It's not there, that's fine. We pull it out, we work it around. We're keeping the space here. Really opening up the inside of that 8. And then on the back side of ball, you see that we're backdooring these girls as they turn, as they flip their heads. So this is a bad pass, which is a turnover. If you've played for me, you know that I'm big on that. Again, fundamentals, basic passing and catching, but they do a good job of riding out here and working on this double team. We don't get the call, which is unfortunate, but it goes like that sometimes. But that's all right because we're in good position and we ride this out. Slow ball, just applying some pressure through the midfield, which is fine. It allows our midfielders to drop in, allows our defenders to be ready and set and have a game plan for this ball coming in on the top side. So again, our defenders are talking, we're pointing, we're calling out ball and girl, making sure that we're in good body positioning. Again, we want to be in triangles off an angle. If you find yourself that you're having to turn your head, you're probably in a straight line with your with the ball and your girl. And in that case, you want to step towards your girl and flip so that you have a better angle. Just a little too much physicality here for the situation. So, but that's okay. You can see our defenders, they're talking to each other, they're making a game plan. We got our sticks in the passing lane and in the way and just, force her to fumble, put on some pressure. Great back check there. Now at this point, we really want our midfielders to get down the field and then cut back. So what we can also have happen too is have midfielders just get down while attackers are getting back. Midfielders continue to drop and we kind of just cycle through like that. Again, a pass off the back foot, which is not great, and it puts us in a bad situation here. And now we're just kind of throwing checks because we're tired. That's not going to fly. We need to have a little bit more discipline here in the midfield because we do turn over the ball. It's a good hustle. Down in to get on that open girl. Great cut out, clear out. Again, we need to have our attackers cutting back to ball. These are long carries for one person, and this is how you kind of get worn out. The field is huge. There's lots of running already. If you can learn to move efficiently and learn when to cut back to ball, you can really save yourself a lot of running and work more efficiently. That is a great transition, though. So again, we're coming down hard, which is great. Just can't connect on that pass, but that's okay. We pick it back up. You're going to have days where you don't connect. You're going to have days where, you struggle to catch and throw. That's fine. What you want to do is keep going hard, which we do in this game, and that results in a goal. Always go hard. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, that's it. Again, I'm sorry that no practice today. The weather has been pretty volatile here, and our coaches drive up from Carolina Beach. So, if you guys do have any questions, or if there are any topics that you would like to watch film on, please just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a great evening.